the land of mist and mountains, where the echoes of ancient tales lingered in the air. A young warrior named Sigurd was raised under the watchful eye of Regin. Sigurd, with hair as bright as gold and eyes that sparkled like the clearest skies, grew up in a humble dwelling nestled between verdant hills. From an early age, he exhibited bravery beyond his years, often finding himself drawn to stories of glory and adventure. A master smith and cunning strategist, nurtured Sigurd's ambitions while subtly weaving his own desires into their conversations. He would sit by the crackling fire at twilight, voice low and rich with intrigue, recounting the legend of Fafnir. This monstrous dragon had once been a noble dwarf who succumbed to greed. Over time, Fafnir transformed into a fearsome beast scaled and powerful, guarding a hoard of gold so vast that it could dazzle even the darkest hearts. Sigurd listened intently to Regin's words. Something began to stir within him. The thought of facing such a formidable creature ignited a fire in his soul. He could almost feel the weight of destiny wrapping around him, like an invisible cloak. Painted vivid images of valor on canvas made from dreams and whispers. The great hero, slaying Fafnir and claiming treasures untold. Yet among these tales lay deeper truths that slipped through like shadows in dim light. Odin's presence began to weave itself into Sigurd's life. Visions would come unbidden in his quietest moments. Allfather's eyes seemed to pierce through time itself as he whispered secrets about fate, a reminder that each choice led down paths unknown, but irrevocably intertwined with destiny. Crisp morning, as dew-blanketed emerald blades of grass beneath the sun's gentle caress, Regin approached Sigurd with an intensity that sparked curiosity within him. The smith bore news. He would forge for Sigurd a sword unlike any other, a weapon imbued with runes crafted from ancient magic. Regin labored over molten metal in his forge, wet glistening on his brow like fine jewels under the flame's embrace. He spoke fervently about courage, always leaving just enough uncertainty hanging in the air for Sigurd to sense betrayal lurking beneath every heroic tale. Sparks danced around them like tiny stars caught mid-flight. Doubts crept into Sigurd's mind. Loyalty to this man who claimed fatherhood felt both sacred yet fraught with tension. Meanwhile, Jordies watched from afar, the heartache of separation weighing heavy upon her spirit, yet interlaced with pride for her son's burgeoning strength. Her wisdom ran deep as ocean currents. She saw not only potential, but also danger ahead on this path, filled with dragons and deception. Days turned into weeks, filled with anticipation wrapped tightly around hope and trepidation alike. Devoted himself to training relentlessly under Regin's stern guidance, while secretly yearning for adventure beyond these tranquil hills. Thus unfolded act, when a tapestry woven from threads of prophecy guiding our hero toward greatness, while foreshadowing trials ahead woven intricately by fate herself. The air was thick with anticipation as Sigurd stood before the great forge, the flickering flames casting dancing shadows around him. Jin, his foster father and master smith, was hard at work, hammering away at a massive piece of iron, shaping it into something extraordinary. Rhythmic clanging of metal against metal echoed through the cavern, a symphony of creation that underscored the weight of destiny resting upon Sigurd's shoulders, and spoke of legends long past of heroes who had wielded weapons that sung in battle. With each story, he wove threads of courage into Sigurd's heart while hinting at darker motives lurking just beneath his praises. The tales were rich with valor, but carried an undercurrent that made Sigurd wary. He could sense a hidden agenda within Regin's fervent encouragement. Regin worked tirelessly to craft Gram, the magical sword destined to slay Fafnir. Sigurd pondered the enormity of what lay ahead. He could almost feel the dragon's breath upon him, its fiery rage waiting just beyond the horizon. Yet there was a flicker of doubt growing within him as well. Would this sword be his salvation, or merely a tool for another's ambition? Jordies watched from afar, her maternal instincts guiding her thoughts like gentle whispers on the wind. He knew her son was on a path fraught with danger and deception, but felt powerless to intervene directly. Instead, she sent silent prayers to Odin for protection over Sigurd as he ventured deeper into this tale woven by fate. Days turned into nights at the forge. Regin finally unveiled Gram, a sword unlike any other, shimmering with runes that glowed like starlight caught in steel. Sigurd reached out to grasp its hilt, feeling an electric surge course through him, as if the very essence of warriors long gone had been channeled into this magnificent weapon. Even as excitement surged within him about having such power at hand, Sigurd couldn't shake off an unsettling thought. Was this gift truly meant for him, or was he merely a pawn in Regin's grand design? The uncertainty gnawed at his mind like ravenous wolves circling prey. Night before their departure to confront Fafnir arrived cloaked in darkness, as ominous clouds gathered overhead, a prelude to impending conflict. Jin shared tales of bravery around a crackling fire. Shadows danced along their faces, revealing flickers of emotion masked by camaraderie. Observed his foster father intently. There was something unspoken lingering between them, an invisible thread binding their fates together, yet laden with tension. Laughter echoed through the cavern walls and warmth surrounded them momentarily. Sigurd felt both companionship and foreboding enveloping him like an embrace, both comforting and chilling. Night held dreams filled with visions spun by Odin himself, glimpses of glory mingled with warnings wrapped tightly in riddles, meant only for those chosen by destiny's hand. Amidst these swirling images lay Brynhildr the Valkyrie, whose ethereal beauty captivated not only warriors, but also gods themselves. Those fleeting moments between wakefulness and sleep, where time seemed suspended in stillness, Sigurd found himself drawn toward thoughts of her, the connection blossoming tenderly amidst uncertainties looming ahead. For join him on this journey, or would fate separate them forever? With dawn breaking over distant mountains, painted in hues of crimson, and gold signaling new beginnings intertwined with perilous ends, Sigurd steeled himself for ahead, but deep down within his heart lingered echoes from H. Geordie's wisdom. Rust carefully, even those closest may harbor secrets. So they set forth towards Fafnir's lair, beneath heavy skies charged with tension, a hero armed not only with a blade forged from ambition, but also burdened by doubts weaved intricately across paths uncertain yet undeniable. In the aftermath of Sigurd's incredible victory over Fafnir, silence fell upon the dragon's lair, broken only by the soft rustling of leaves outside and the gentle trickle of a nearby stream. Sigurd stood over the lifeless body of Fafnir, his heart racing with adrenaline and triumph. Air was thick with an intoxicating mixture of victory and foreboding as he surveyed the vast treasure hoard that lay before him. Glimmering gold, silver, and precious gems sparkled like stars strewn across an endless night sky. Each piece told tales of valor and breathed the very essence that had transformed Fafnir from noble dwarf to monstrous dragon. Sigurd stepped closer to the glittering bounty. He felt an alluring pull. Treasures were whispering promises of power and glory. Yet beneath those promises lay a warning, a reminder that such riches often came with perilous consequences. Emerged from the shadows, his eyes glinting with desire as he surveyed the wealth before them. He approached Sigurd slowly, voice smooth yet laced with ambition. Jin spoke of dividing the spoils, how wise it would be to share in this fortune together. Yet within his words echoed hidden motives. Envy danced behind his smile like a shadow lurking just out of sight. Gathered their newfound wealth, Sigurd felt a strange sensation wash over him, a connection to Fafnir that lingered beyond death. Memories flooded his mind in vivid flashes, fleeting images of darkness swirling around greed's icy grasp, moments where loyalty twisted into betrayal under its weight. With each piece of treasure they collected, Sigurd recalled Odin's subtle guidance throughout this journey, echoes reminding him that fate is never solely one's own. Days passed under shimmering skies filled with warmth. Tension grew between Sigurd and Regin. Master Smith's ambition became increasingly apparent. He sought not only companionship, but also dominion over Sigurd's destiny, through manipulation disguised as mentorship. Feathers curled around them like mist on cool mornings, suggesting treachery simmered just beneath their camaraderie, a test woven skillfully by fate itself. Meanwhile, Jordies remained vigilant from afar. Although she sensed her son had achieved greatness in slaying Fafnir, her heart trembled at what may lie ahead amidst riches that could easily corrupt even the purest soul. It silently for clarity, within these shifting tides, the hope that wisdom would guide him through treacherous waters unscathed. Fateful night under a celestial canvas, painted with twinkling stars, a space alive, with stories untold. Sigurd made camp near a tranquil brook, while pondering his journey thus far. A soothing sound lulled him into contemplation about relationships forged on trust, amidst growing desires clouded by lust for power or affection. Sleep gently embraced him like a comforting shroud after long days filled with trials. Past dreams entered his mind, revealing Brynhildr, Valkyrie cloaked in armor, adorned by moonlit reflections, whose presence stirred feelings previously unknown, yet tantalizingly familiar deep within his core. Darker shadows loomed near the looming presence of Gunnar, tugged at boundaries drawn tighter than string pulled taut against a bowstring ready for release, torn between friendship and yearning ignited by Brynhildr's allure consumed. Oathmen as evening faded into dawn once more. Us unfolded act, for an intricate dance between dreams intertwined upon threads woven delicately by fate itself, while casting light upon choices leading toward inevitable betrayals, tinged sweetly bittersweet, like honey mixed within bitter. Herbs left behind unfurling stories, still waiting patiently upon pages, yet unwritten. Sigurd emerged from the shadow of Fafnir's lair. A sense of triumph surged within him. The dragon lay vanquished, its once fearsome presence now reduced to a lifeless mass, scales glimmering dully in the faint light. The weight of victory felt heavy upon his shoulders, yet it was accompanied by an intoxicating thrill, one that whispered promises of power and glory. Beneath the dragon's corpse sprawled a treasure hoard so vast that it could blind even the most steadfast soul. Gold and jewels glittered like stars fallen to earth, tempting Sigurd with their allure. He stepped closer to this magnificent sight. He felt the warmth of Fafnir's blood still clinging to him, a reminder of both his valor and the curse that came with such immense power. His voice echoed in his mind, urging him to claim what was rightfully his. Amidst the cacophony of riches beckoning for attention, an unsettling thought lingered. Treasure truly bring him fortune, or lead him down a path of greed? Moments passed as he stood there entranced by gold coins that rolled and shimmered like waves upon an endless sea. And that Regin appeared at his side, eyes gleaming with ambition, masked beneath feigned admiration. He wasted no time in exalting Sigurd's bravery, while simultaneously guiding him deeper into temptation's embrace. Extolled tales of how great heroes had forged their destinies through wealth, yet beneath these praises lay an unspoken desire for part of this treasure himself. Sigurd turned towards Regin, searching for truth amidst sweet words wrapped in silk. Oh, he wished to trust this man, who had nurtured him since childhood. Doubt wormed its way into Sigurd's heart. Did Regin seek true partnership, or merely covet what belonged to another? Tension crackled between them like distant thunder. Loyalty battled against suspicion, as shadows danced upon their souls. With determination filling his veins, and whispers echoing from Jordies' wisdom urging caution, began gathering treasures, but carefully chose only what he deemed necessary, enough to prove his strength without losing himself entirely to greed's grasp. He filled his satchel with gold bars gleaming brighter than summer sunbeams, before stepping back from the overwhelming bounty surrounding him. Just as triumph tasted sweet on Sigurd's lips, betrayal lurked close behind like cold winds creeping through cracks in ancient stone walls. Watched closely as each piece was added to Sigurd's collection, envy twisted within him like a serpent coiling tighter around its prey. They began their journey back homeward, under pallid skies threatening rain, a somber reminder that not all rewards come without cost. Regin broached conversations laden with subtle manipulation cloaked in brotherly concern. Each word dripped honeyed persuasion, meant to sow discord between Sigurd and any future allies who might share in his newfound fortune. Anar awaited them at home, their friendship forged through trials shared over countless days, spent training together beneath endless sunrises, spilling colors across horizon lines, intertwined with laughter and camaraderie. However, Gunnar harbored secrets within his own heart, a yearning for Brynhildr the Valkyrie, whose ethereal beauty captivated all who crossed her path, including Sigurd himself. Air thickened as Gunnar greeted them upon their return, a mixture of joy overshadowed by tension lingering just below surface smiles exchanged among friends turned rivals over love unfulfilled, yet fated entwined somehow across realms. Separated by destiny itself, sensed the shift almost immediately. Fleeting glances exchanged between Gunnar and Brynhildr held stories, untold wrapped tightly, within shared moments clouded by jealousy, igniting fierce flames threatening loyalty forged through. Hardship and ignorance blossomed too amid uncertainty. They were comrades bound together against enemies lurking outside, but also within hearts, too often left unchecked, when desires burned fiercely bright amid darkness closing in around them. All thus began Act 4, a tale steeped deeply into temptation's embrace, where choices made would ripple across time, forever altering paths entwined beyond mere mortal's comprehension. In the aftermath of Sigurd's incredible victory over Fafnir, silence enveloped the dragon's lair, broken only by the gentle rustle of leaves swaying outside and the soft trickle of a nearby stream. It stood over Fafnir's lifeless form, his heart racing from both adrenaline and triumph. Air was thick with a heady mix of victory and foreboding as he surveyed the vast treasure hoard lying before him. Glittering gold, silver, and precious gems sparkled like stars scattered across an endless night sky. Each piece bore tales of valor, intertwined with greed, the very essence that had transformed Fafnir from a noble dwarf into a fearsome dragon. Sigurd stepped closer to the shimmering bounty. He felt an irresistible pull. Treasures whispered promises of power and glory. Yet beneath those alluring whispers lay warnings, a reminder that such wealth often came hand in hand with perilous consequences. Emerged from the shadows, his eyes glinting with desire as he surveyed the wealth before them. Approaching Sigurd slowly, his voice dripped with smoothness, yet held an undercurrent of ambition. He spoke of dividing their spoils, how wise it would be to share in this fortune together. However, within Regin's words echoed hidden motives. Envy danced behind his smile like a shadow just out of sight. They gathered their newfound riches. Sigurd experienced an unsettling sensation wash over him, a lingering connection to Fafnir, even in death. Memories surged through his mind in vivid flashes, swirling darkness surrounding greed's icy grasp, moments where loyalty twisted into betrayal under its weight. Each piece they collected, echoes of Odin's subtle guidance throughout this journey, surfaced reminders that fate is never solely one's own. Days unfolded beneath shimmering skies filled with warmth, while tension escalated between Sigurd and Regin. Master Smith's ambitions became increasingly clear. He sought not only companionship, but dominion over Sigurd's destiny through manipulation disguised as mentorship. Fears curled around them like mist on cool mornings, suggesting treachery simmered beneath their facade of camaraderie, a test woven skillfully by fate itself. Meanwhile, Hjordis remained vigilant from afar. Despite sensing her son had achieved greatness in slaying Fafnir, her heart trembled at what may lie ahead amidst riches that could easily corrupt even the purest soul. Silent prayers flowed from her lips for clarity amid these shifting tides, the hope that wisdom would guide him through treacherous waters unscathed. Fateful night under a celestial canvas, painted with twinkling stars, a space alive with stories untold. Sigurd made camp near a tranquil brook, while contemplating his journey thus far. Soothing sound lulled him into deeper thoughts about relationships forged on trust amidst desires clouded by lust for power or affection. Sleep gently embraced him like a comforting shroud after long days, filled with trials. Past dreams began to weave themselves into his consciousness, revealing Brynhildr. Valkyrie cloaked in armor, adorned by moonlit reflections, whose presence stirred feelings previously unknown, yet tantalizingly familiar within his core. At darker shadows loomed nearby the looming presence of Gunnar, tugged at boundaries drawn tighter than string pulled taut against a bowstring ready for release, torn between friendship and yearning ignited by Brynhildr's allure consumed. Oathmen as evening faded into dawn once more. Thus unfolded Act 5, a tale intricately woven upon threads spun delicately by fate itself, while casting light upon choices leading toward inevitable betrayals, tinged sweetly bittersweet, like honey mixed within bitter herbs left behind. Furling stories still waiting patiently upon pages, yet unwritten. The heart of a land steeped in mist and shadow, where echoes of ancient legends danced through the air, Sigurd found himself standing at the precipice of destiny. He had emerged victorious from his confrontation with Fafnir, the dragon whose insatiable greed had turned him from noble dwarf to ferocious beast. Weight of triumph settled heavily upon Sigurd's shoulders as he gazed upon the vast treasure hoard that lay before him, glittering like stars fallen from the night sky. He stepped closer to the wealth that beckoned seductively. Golden coins and shimmering jewels sparkled under the dim light, each piece whispering promises of power and glory, yet also carrying warnings hidden beneath their allure. Sight both magnificent and foreboding, Sigurd felt both drawn to its beauty and repulsed by its potential for corruption. And appeared beside him, his eyes glimmering with ambition, masked beneath a veneer of admiration. He spoke with fervor about dividing their newfound fortune, a suggestion wrapped in honeyed words that dripped with ulterior motives. Jin extolled tales of great heroes who wielded power born from wealth. Sigurd sensed an unsettling undercurrent within his foster father's voice, a desire not just for partnership, but dominion over what belonged to another. Conflicted feelings swirled within Sigurd as he collected treasures. Each coin added to his satchel felt heavy with unspoken consequences. Memories flashed through his mind, vivid images, reflecting moments shared between loyalty and betrayal that echoed Odin's teachings about fate's intricate designs. He moved amongst this bounty. Thoughts of Hjordi's filled him with both pride for having conquered Fafnir and dread regarding what awaited him on this perilous path paved by riches. Days passed as they journeyed back homeward beneath oppressive skies, threatening rain, the atmosphere thickening with tension after having tasted victory flavored by avarice. Every glance exchanged between Regin and Sigurd carried shades of suspicion. Doubt crept into their once uncomplicated companionship, like shadows stretching across flickering flames in twilight. Upon reaching familiar ground, adorned by memories forged through trials, face together stood Gunnar, Sigurd's dear friend, whose spirit resonated deeply within their bond, formed over sunlit days, spent training side by side. Yet even amidst joyful reunion lingered unspoken tensions. Gunnar's gaze flitted towards Brynhildr, the captivating Valkyrie, whose enchanting presence stirred emotions, entwined dangerously among them all. Laughter erupted around their gathering campfire later that evening, while stars twinkled above like watchful guardians cloaked in celestial light. The air crackled anew, charged not only with camaraderie, but also jealousy simmering just. Surface smiles shared between friends turned potential rivals over love untold, yet destined somehow across cosmic threads woven tight around fate itself. Observed Gunnar closely throughout conversations, filled with jest laced subtly amid underlying conflict. Each word spoken danced precariously close to revealing secrets, lurking beneath carefully maintained facades, while Brynhildr, silently observing how old bonds could twist under pressure, ignited by desires left unchecked, when hearts yearned desperately toward unattainable dreams. Amidst these shifting tides, entangled tightly within threads spun from destiny itself, Regin continued sowing seeds intended for discord disguised as genuine concern, cloaked tenderly around brotherly affection, meant only to divert attention from growing suspicions surrounding loyalties tested time after time again against merciless waves crashing relentlessly against fragile souls. navigating treacherous waters wrought forth by greed, intermingling seamlessly within love. Intertwined deeply beyond mere mortal comprehension or endurance thus far attained. And so unfolded Act 6, a poignant chapter revealing not only choices made amidst temptation's embrace, but also the delicate balance between heroism, overshadowed inevitably by betrayals waiting patiently still upon pages unwritten, preparing us all for darker paths ahead, entwined delicately through fates spun intricately, ever more complex than we can perceive.